replacement, I think I'd be super happy. But I like that there's Kiyoshima there. I think XMS and Sixer had to go. I've been you know, consistently on LAN performances, they could never deliver on the stage, or there's a lot of pressure. And Sixer was just too inconsistent for an Orpha. So I think this could be a very scary team, especially depending on how hard G plays. So very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting, that scenario. Like, I didn't know that, for example, Smith was forced onto the AWP role on his team. But enough about that. We've got Envy pushing into the B bomb site. Haji's been picked off, but so has Dopplan, and there goes Freddy as well. Looks pretty good now for Envy. Hampus has a kit, though, which will buy him some extra time, emerging around the smoke. And he might have a blind spot here, but now he's been spotted by some strafing from Scream. Scream with a P250 and 3 kills. And that is the round finished off. So Envy get off to a good start. And Scream's got a great spawn for mid as well, so he can try to cut a player off going towards a short position, although I think it's better to do that on a buy round, because on an eco round you might see 3 to 5 people just charging mid in general, and then you might give up the AK, so you've got to be careful.
I think Scream as well, for me, he was a question mark on the team, and but I think that, like, I'm personally willing to give him more of a chance, because I think that, you know, it really affects him how he perceives his own team. I think he can have really big motivation problems, and so I think if he's, you know, got a fresh lineup, I think we could see sort of closer to when we had that crazy situation where I guess it would be the peak of his career with G2, when he was playing with Shox, and they were sort of the dynamic duo, and with just a very aggressive style. That was definitely a highlight of his career.
He is a very good pro. I think it's just because of the way, like, his style and aim, everything. The conversation always becomes about how good he is compared to how good people think he is, and
yeah.
that ruins him a bit. But for sure, he's definitely a very competent and good pro, and clearly has always had like a strong will to play competitively as opposed to just be a flashy player. You know, when he had that style that was all one tapping, and he says now that he's dropped that because he doesn't want to be looked at as somebody who only makes flashy plays. He wants to be able to win.
Do you think he's like the European version of Shroud?
Well, I think the difference is with Shroud, it wasn't exactly clear how competitive he actually was. Maybe in terms of mechanical ability.
It's sad to see Shroud absent, but did pretty well for himself. And GODSENT will be victims to the A push here from ENVYUS.
That's a 1G.
Haji's from the ENVYUS Academy team, right?
He is.
That's cool. I like that. That's cool.
Always makes me think of Georgie Haji, who I think was a footballer, maybe from Morocco, I'm not sure. Anyway, 2-on-2, and GODSENT have little to lose in this round. Mac 10, they are not close enough to use it just yet to its best of its abilities, but there we go, the strafing Mac 10 will deliver the kill, and Dopplan will land the headshot, so a surprising second round win for GODSENT.
An unlikely retake indeed. That was everything falling into place there. I think if either one of those kills goes down, the other guy clutches for sure, so it's a big win.
Huge win. Twist, third round AWP, and no armor. That is very interesting. I suppose he'll play the car position on A, but not often you will see that, but maybe it's a good read, because with the bomb plant, Envy are going for the eco rather than a force buy, so it may just work out for them. Them being GODSENT and Twist with no AWP, no Kevlar to his AWP, I should say.
It's funny how Kiyoshima doesn't have the ENVYUS logo or anything. He's just got a black square. That's all he has. Look at that. He's rocking it though. He's owning it. He's owning that black square. So GODSENT should be fairly easy to defend against this. Quite telegraphed. Got to hit one of those bullets though. Freddy B only getting one. Perhaps should have gotten two. And now opening up the channel of that A bomb site to the ENVYUS team. This has gone quite well, actually.
Maybe a little too well, Dan.
Maybe a little too well.
And now what do? The retake with no armor. How does Twist approach this? The late smoke in that position makes it really hard to go for the retake, so at what point do they consider saving? Surely at this point they cannot go any further. Twist is still by the car, but Doppelman continues to advance, so this... is he just going for exit frags now? I don't know what the plan is, but seems that might be it. But at what point do you try and secure your own weapon? Well, that's a pretty good job, and he might even escape. Indeed, he will. So there are no weapons taken away by ENVYUS at the very least. And now Twist can buy some armor.
No, yeah, that's a massive save. The thing is, oh, they're going to drop another op, so this fortifies the buy significantly. They can even pistol ump. I thought it was going to be a couple of CZs, so a little bit low on utility, but they've got 5 smokes to delay. They know ENVYUS are 1 buy away from resetting.
Twist has a really good spawn to be storage as well. He might go a bit aggressive with it. It's not super aggressive peek, always walking forwards, okay. It's really cool if you get a good spawn to do this, sometimes just because you can actually get someone into sunroom fairly early, which can change your defense a lot, but Twist it will be deflecting the push coming in from the vent positions. As he puts down the smoke, his teammate is gone. Just on Twist now with the AWP, and if he's able to get 1 or 2 more kills, he's done his job. Ooh, that's not a miss you can afford to make, and the side is ENVYUS's.
Really on point with these Molotovs. There's a flank from Happy, works eventually. All the AWPs taken away, and Freddy B wondering what could have been. Maybe he can collect that defuse kit at the very least. What is his game here? Whatever it was, not going to work out from multiple headshots from RPK. Seems to be in good spirits.
RPK is one of those players where you really wonder, like in the last 2 years when we've seen him just have an incredible form, and he only seems to get better and better. Like, how good is he actually? Like, because I feel like on ENVYUS, it's just not been a place where he can succeed because of what's happened with the team. Maybe this new lineup will be the difference, but RPK is incredible. He's actually so incredibly good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say he was first or second best player in Source as well.
Yeah.
Like him Shock's existence, something like that. And yeah, I think I agree. I feel like if you put him on G2, he would punch above his weight.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Because at first he was really bad when Existence kind of first brought him into CS:GO. He seemed really lost and just really bad. But in a year and a half or so, he became incredibly good to the point that I was like, wow, you really can shake the rust off after taking a multiple-year break. I think he was the first player to prove that to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I remember when he announced his comeback, all the French guys and all the Source guys were like, holy crap, the potential implications of this are insane. And we do see the potential implications, but again, Envy have been on quite the struggle in these French roster shuffles, and you do wonder if we'll see a, well, I suppose at this point, a 4th French team, considering we've got LDLC out there.
And just the prospect of, Zywoo eventually coming into the fray, that could be really huge. Because I think one thing that ENVYUS always lacked was that AWP. They had definitely some potential with the old lineup, but I think you really you need that star AWP. And Sixer wasn't even sort of a consistent, passive AWP. I don't know what you would ever get with him. Sometimes it'd be good, but more often than not, it was just way below average for the level that ENVYUS should be at. So yeah, having another really strong AWP in France is a really fun prospect. We've got a quick push into a main hit from the Swedish side. Freddy B, that is really nice, wonderful stuff. Getting a 2K there, getting the information. Hampers with the finish onto screen with the HE into the door position. ENVYUS don't really have much left to work with in this round. This is like one of the most annoying feelings, like when you're on cash and it's like a 2v4 on the T side and you're like, well, I guess we can go into mid. But maybe not, Proban will deny that.
1-on-3 for Kirishima. Bomb is in his possession and he's got 1 minute on the clock, so surely he goes for this. But is there a checkmate from Hampus, considering his position two-man flank as well. So containment is in order, and I think we might have Dopplen peeking. I think he's been boosted over mid. So Kishima has to play it wisely. There is a presence from Dopplen, suddenly just charging in.
That's like the one thing you really feel like you're safe against, because you're thinking, there's no way, you know, they'll just hold really, they have really good positions on the bomb side, so there's no way they're going to like run around trying to flank. That doesn't make sense in 1v3. But that's Swedish Counter-Strike for you. Welcome to Swedish Counter-Strike.
Always watch your back.
Yeah, often doing what doesn't make sense does make sense, because it's almost like a weird gentleman's agreement that this is not done, therefore do it.
Hashtag meta. Ooh. Kiyashima ready for that. And it must have had an amazing spawn actually for that. Sometimes when you're on the T side you actually throw a flash, which will be like a counter pop flash, should the CTs try to pop flash PQ. Oh no. Barbecued. Barbecued.
Yeah, there's the three stages of the molly spreading, and sometimes you just hope. You have to commit. You can get out early and take 20 damage, or you find a corner that you hope it just does not spread to, and once it does, there's no way out.
I always hope. I'm a positive person. Doesn't work out very well most of the time.
In life, or
Molotovs are down and the bomb is in possession of the CTs for the time being. Freddy B with one more Molotov, but I don't know if that he's in position to throw it. And the utility will be expended to try and rescue this bomb, but I think there's somebody in the vent as well, so this is not going to be an easy task for Envy. And do they have time to rotate? Even if it's collected, Dopplen looking for a second kill through the smoke, but running out of bullets. Moving back to headshot, and Twist is still here. Oh, that's a nasty surprise. RPK alone now with 20 seconds. Scanning the area, looking for targets, but they're just surrounding him. Their spy paper cuts almost. GODSENT with a third round on the board.
Money's gone for ENVYUS. Well, mostly. One save away from the buy. The buy. And GODSENT. Where's Hampus going to go with that orb? Where is he going to take the orb? Be really active on this on the CT side. Is he going to go door? He should go door. He's not going to go door. My favorite player to watch with the orb progression on door is actually Nico. I think Nico is somewhat of a specialist. He always finds very good timings, good pre-fire angles and so on.
yeah, he's one of those players that's really great to leave alone, whether it be lurking short B on overpass or in the door here on cash. It's just extremely smart. You know he lives, you know he gets damage, you know he gets information. Happy's another one of those guys. What a peek from Scream. The elevated boost as well. Head comes clean off the neck. And the site is cracked wide open.
Uh-oh, this spells disaster here for the Swedish side. Twist tries to do what he can, but he has to be... He's pressed to 180s, and eventually he will get taken out. Brolin with a consolation kill towards B, but the real threat is towards A. The bomb, though, not there just yet, so there's a window of time here for GODSENT to get into position to deny this, and there's even an incentive to try to think about, you know, the possibilities to work B here, but obviously with Brolin last being shown at B storage, RPK doesn't feel as though he can get over there. GODSENT playing it very passive, just holding at the moment, not giving any information away until the bomb is planted and they know for sure what's going on.
Dopplen at the car. Might wait for his teammate to catch up somewhat. Brolan's collected a lot of damage in this round. There are guns trained on him. And now Dopplen's surely at the point of no return. Can see the quad player's shadow if the quad player goes to the left, but now he's rotating around the site. The default! Oh, what happened there? That's got to be the mouse wheel bug. Surely. Sometimes I could win your mouse wheel.
Who is switching with mouse wheel?
Well, some people do.
No!
Some people do.
No.
So, if your mouse wheel is, depending on the mouse you have, some mice have this issue, some don't, where it's kind of stuck between two notches. Sometimes when you mouse one, it switches a notch, and then that might happen.
See,
that where he presses Q, there's no way he's pressing Q there. So it must be the mouse wheel.
It did seem weird, but I hope he's not switching with mouse wheel. I mean, I've seen him B-hop, so I'm pretty sure.
So what does your mouse wheel up do?
Nothing.
Okay, so where your mouse wheel down is jump.
Yeah.
Is it common for people to make the mouse wheel up do nothing? It's easy down to jump.
I mean, yeah, because if you do bind it to something, then you could accidentally.
But how do you accidentally go up instead of down on your wheel?
But I'm not going to use it up for anything else anyway.
That's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, that's to me that's got to be mouse wheel. There's no other. He's not AWPing unless he's one tapping and pressing Q.
I really just don't think he's using mouse wheel. Oh my god! What?
That was really
close.
That was real close.
I'm calling mouse wheel.
He's too good. He's too good of a player to be using mouse wheel this way. I just feel like.
I think he'll be disappointed.
Should tweet him and find
I'm
out.
willing to bet a lot on this.
Should need to tweet him and find out.
We can't bet. It's America. We can't do that.
I'm Canadian. Near UKian.
UKian.
From Cadian?
Yeah.
Scream with the AW. Sorry, what am I talking about? It's Twist with the AWP. I'm back in the room. And he's going to get taken down in the mid area, and the bomb will be collected for what remains of Envy, 3 players. They'll move towards the A bomb site. Look at this smoke though. Freddie B playing through the corner of it. Oh boy. Well, it is RPK after all, isn't it? Making his entry into main, carrying the bomb as well. So now the info is there for GODSENT, and they need to start that rotation. With the time on the clock, it seems they might leave top plan in B and the rest of the players towards the A site. Twist Molotov from his position. Squeaky door opens. How do GODSENT hold?
Ooh, that's a good start. They're taking out the door player. Gives Twist some space as RPK has to turn his attention towards the forklift area, and just like that, the push is wiped clean. Good effort there from GODSENT on that defense. Pays off for them. And we do have a very close game on our hands, though. It's pretty hard to see, you know, who exactly is going to be coming out on top in this half.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the regular stuff is happening on cash, and it comes down to here, like on that round, GODSENT stopping the A push after getting a couple kills at mid. And ENVYUS, when they do go down in numbers, GODSENT are doing a good job of steadily cleaning out rounds. So I think this is kind of going to be the first in a series of brand new tactics from ENVYUS.
Marvelous. ENVYUS always rhymes with marvelous, but will this round be marvelous for them? Twist is lurking with the AWP, looking for players jumping into the vent now, but they have missed them already. The flash is there for Dopland. Can he find 2? He can. 1 player in the vent, and there are more outside the B bomb site. Hampus with a nice kill there, but there are 2 more to go. Not much response from Envy to these kills. There he goes, Happy. No, RPK will do what he can. He's got the bomb, and he's made his way out of the B bomb site, but was he hurt? Seems that he might have been. No, he wasn't hurt at all. Second player is Twist on the high ground, and he will manage to deliver. Twist pretty handy and fast on the AWP. I remember one show match, Speedy was in that position behind the fence, or whatever it is, the roller shutter, and he shot me in the vent itself from there, so...
He has his nades bound individually.
Who does?
Disco.
Good man. So do I.
Can you use scroll wheel still?
Yeah.
For switching?
Well, no, I mean the scroll wheel is there, but no, I don't use it per se. I should disable it actually.
Yeah. Or you have it, but you just don't use, like you have it for switching, but you just don't
I've
use
never
it.
changed it to something else. So it's just there.
Shooting yourself in the foot a little bit.
You can't see if he's in Counter Strike.
That's true.
Pistols out for Envy.
Brolan is dead. Trying to hold on for dear life. His teammates very far away. But there's no entering this B-bomb side, I don't think. Freddie.
Okay.
Hello. How's it going, friend? So, not really much for ENVYUS to do here with the Eagles. It's a weird one. How much money do they actually have? Okay. I feel like, you know, buying Kevlar for Haji was kind of a waste. I think generally speaking, when you're planning on just damage with Deagles, the Kevlar like doesn't make much sense if you're playing with the Deagle. If you're playing with like a CZ or something and you plan to actually move forwards and take fights and where you're not sort of just having to get the first shot, because when you're playing the Deagle, you kind of assume that you need to take the first, you need to like hit the first shot if you're gonna win that fight.
You always hold an
If
angle.
you don't have armor, it doesn't really make much difference.
Yeah, you always hold an angle for a headshot.
Yeah.
If you miss that shot, it's just random. Just spam and hope.
Yeah. Game punch is not as bad as it used to be as well, so.
That's true. That's true as well. Rollin pushing up mid. They haven't gotten too aggressive. Looks like they're going to go for the fast counter boost. And I think that after he heard the flash, Freddy decided to open the door. Alone on that one. Oh, the boost will be good. Jeez.
Doesn't spot the second play though in front of the box.
Oh.
He was still hiding for the time being. I don't know if anything was seen, but Hampus may have been wondering. And now he can wonder no more. 3-on-3, the bombs though creeping towards the B bomb site, but there is a T on A detected now by the CTs, and that will pull the last player from the B bomb site, but he slowly moves back as they realize there are 2 players missing. Twist with a fast flick, leaving Scream in a 1 versus 3. Bomb's going down on a side plant, so he can defend it from the front, moving around while the smoke goes down. Trajectory might give his position away, but the CT is not in position to do anything about it just yet. Doplan has to run distraction and surely move into Checkers late. Hard position to deal with, but he'll deal with it this time. That never works for me.
Which part? Coming out event or holding?
Coming out of the vent.
Yeah, it's
Every time. Every time.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm at such an insane disadvantage because I get owned there so often coming out. But never mind. So the money for ENVYUS is kind of weird because they could buy. They still won't have the fullest of grenades in the world. So what are they doing?
it's a tight race. I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to justify saving another. How many rounds in a row are they looking at? 4? Yeah, so they're just going to buy next round as well. It's not going to be the worst place in the world, and it's hard to say, oh, let's not buy here.
If they get the bomb down, they get another full buy, so
That's the thing, too.
$4,200 if they get the bomb down.
I feel like they should go try to get their kills at mid. Maybe a delayed mid take. Their split Bs were working pretty well.
Good old delayed mids. Still pretty effective. Good basic of cash. Oh. Twist, you monster. Oh, speaking of which, Freddy B able to take full advantage. They were trying. Were they actually trying to walk the smoke?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think RPK kind of ran out mid on that. That was kind of disappointing. RPK just kind of ran out mid, it seemed, lower mid maybe. And then as soon as he died, they were like, all right, well, since we're here.
And the interesting thing is that GODSENT have been putting a lot of aggression to CT main. Like pretty consistently, they've been going very aggro on CT main, and it is something that's expected on Cash. So it's a shame they're not able to abuse it a bit more, exploit it as the T side.
Dirty pop flash from the back of A main would have worked wonders.
Yes, yeah. That used to be so common as well.
Love this B main smoke. It's so annoying because as a T, if you want to split B, you have to wait now. You have to wait to retake it. And you can see no one's even pushing, right? But they have to assume someone could have gotten sunroom control. So even though they seem pretty confident, they just looked at all this, they haven't seen anyone pushing, they're going to go clear it slowly. And that burns so much time off the clock. This is a smoke I think Snax threw a lot on Virtus Pro. That was extremely strong.
Run boost. Up, down, and over. Past the AWP angle, that kind of works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially considering they don't have the grenades to really do anything else. I mean, he has the smoke, which you get a smoke in front of the site, but has chosen to hold on to that for the time being.
Wow.
One play moving to 4 clears, but not escaping entirely. Haji takes him out. There is a blind spot in that upper left corner, as you can see. Still making some sound cues, and Hampus, he could actually obscure his vision of somebody coming out by playing with his AK like that. That is really weird. But more on that a bit later. Well, and maybe there's a second. Some people have R_clear decals bound to the inspect button.
I have it bound to Q, actually.
Oh, okay. I have it bound to mouse 3. Anyway, Twist picking RPK off. Scream and Happy remain. Who takes the gauntlet run first? It will be Happy. Doesn't work out for him. Scream has the position, but there are more CTs here. And that's a 9-6 half for GODSENT.
I never clear my decals. They even have a bind for that.
I do, because it was Dust 2 long A that was most telling for me. If you had somebody in the door, for example, and you're a CT and you've had one engagement, then it can make it harder to see with all the crimson on the wall. So
yeah,
Iron Squad clothed
it's like
just gives you cleaner jewels.
It's almost created an OCD for me now because I didn't use it until a few months ago, and now I obsessively clear decals. I can't have any blood on my walls.
Everything has to be clean.
Every time I kill someone in deathmatch, I press Q.
Everyone like complains when I stream that I'm not clearing decals.
Yeah, so now if I see blood, even in this game, it bothers me.
Then?
I don't use quick switch. I disabled it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I found that it just created a bad habit.
Oh. I respect how many things you disable in your config. I removed the auto buy binds because the funny thing is I don't even have F keys, physical F keys on my keyboard, so I never press it anyway. But I still removed it. 3 players remaining for GODSENT as they try to move through this smoke onto the side, and the fast exchange will leave Hampus alone in a 1 versus 4. Looking for the aces, Hampus.
He wins these.
He's got it, yeah.
Picks up a USP, so he has equal range now, but not equal numbers.
Okay, well, ENVYUS getting that good start on the economy. And no bomb plant for GODSENT, so they know the force is coming.
Oh, so going back to whoever it was inspecting his weapon. I think if you inspect the Glock comes so close to your face, it really obscures almost 30% of your screen. It's really bizarre. But the AK gave him a clear disadvantage. And also I just can't concentrate or feel like I can shoot properly.
No. Because it messes up your view model, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see it is your view model is part of your crosshair, in a sense. It helps you as a frame of reference to where your bullet's going to go.
Exactly, yeah. So, very, very bizarre times. I can't disable F though because I have nice knives.
You have what?
Nice knives. What else are you going to do when you're, running from spawn? You've got to inspect your knife.
Oh.
What's the best way to cancel the inspection? Because you have to quick switch, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it. Yeah, that sucks.
Or shoot.
Or fire, yeah, shoot.
Or shoot, yeah. Also sucks. I found myself pressing that, I found myself accidentally sometimes pressing that button and then being like, oh god, this lasts forever. But I don't want to give my position away, and I don't want to quick switch because then my gun would be out. So then you just have to live with it. I think that's probably the situation that's, who was it? I don't know who it was, but...
Hampus?
Hampus.
Was it Hampus? Yeah, it's a situation he must have found himself in. It's like, oh god.
I can't see anything.
I just stuck there for the longest... I don't even know how long it is. 3 seconds, 5 seconds? Feels like 10, 20 seconds.
It's pretty gross too.
It's just flying around. Yeah,
Go rounds for GODSENT as ENVY are on the comeback trail.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he got blocked by his teammate. That's the worst thing when someone does that to you when you're trying to smoke mid.
Ooh, nice.
On cash. You always have to have an agreement, or what I do. Whoever's out first smokes mid, whoever's out second molotovs the roof.
Absolutely. And if not, make way. Top of the box.
Ooh. Eco frag time. RPK. Oh, that's sad. Only 2. Soon the last one though.
That's 5 commentary, Dan.
Kiyoshima. I just want to see the tank, man. I want to see the tank tanking up.
Tanking up?
Yeah.
What, tank top style? Or an actual tank?
I don't know, but you might explain why the run boost was so poor with RPK on the top.
What are you, I don't understand what you're saying.
Tanks are heavy, James.
Okay, keep going, Dan. Keep going.
That's a quote.
Anyway.
9-9. RPK pretty damn close. Is he going to go for the Pronax and walk straight through? He's going to try, but he's going to take one in the face. And Scream is not far behind him. Very early 5 versus 3 for GODSENT. Freddy B will prevail in the face of a flashbang. And this is not a good round for Envy. It must be said.
Yeah. Oh dear, all the aggressions just getting completely destroyed straight away. And then you have this situation where you have to play very desperately take a big risk. That got shut down. There's just not really much to talk about from that perspective. Any thoughts? No? Or
I was just thinking about Sean Gears' play that he was telling me about. I was asking him for my match, and that was just the different ways to approach mid. He said that he doesn't like re-smoking mid because of the tell that the team is playing heavy mid, so it's just like the T's can just avoid it and go for A main or B main control. And also to throw in once in a while a molly down in mid so that you can peek behind it.
yeah.
And I was just thinking how they kind of double peeked it dry and wondering if the molly down could have helped.
I love the early molly mid, set up the smoke, and then running up behind it with an AWP. But also, if you're against a force buy or an eco, it's
Don't do that.
depending. Well, no, depending on don't run behind it, but it's good to stop them just bursting through a smoke anyway. I think I might just try to use a numbers game and just burst out mid.
Oh.
So the Molotov just entirely deters that from happening.
I meant playing an op close on the anti-eco.
It's a nice fast shot from Happy. The kind of shot that Envy need. Shot of adrenaline, perhaps, after that previous round. Had you seen on point as well. Politely close the door, open the door, close the door. And we're in a 5 versus 2. Some revenge from Envy, making it expensive for GODSENT now.
This really is a map of aggression.
Yeah, very back and forth. It's hard to say. Nice.
Nice.
It's not an easy shot. It's hard to say where the consistency will be found for GODSENT on their approach for the T side so far. Usually you would expect a team to... The basics on Cash used to be very much that pretty much any team could rely on just running a default. If you get nothing from it, you know, if you deflect any aggression, or if there's no aggression, you eventually come back to like a 1 minute mark, sort of delayed mid-take. Then you've got some map control. Then based on what you've seen of your default, you decide how you're going to split towards A or towards B. And because later into the round it's less safe for the CTs to have more players in mid, so it's an easier take. So like those basics we've been seeing, I feel like I've been seeing less of in Cash currently. It might be due to the way that CTs are playing more aggressive generally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not like the super high level Cash with this matchup, like the, you know, FaZe Astralis, even like Cloud9, like the way that they play.
Yeah.
It's very, very careful, and everything has like a really good reason. But this is a little bit more loose. They're kind of trading map control and understanding that there's going to be fights. A lot of these fights are kind of 50-50. This exec seems pretty good. However, that B main smoke was a little bit off. The same way that you would pop flash in through a control smoke on B main, you can throw the smoke down and it lands at the checker. So if you're on an eco and you want to hit B, you can just throw the smoke the same way you throw the flash, and then your teammates can run through without having to worry about someone from checkers peeking. It actually holds that guy in checkers, so if there's one on site, he's pretty screwed. But that smoke for some reason had a small crack in it. It's unfortunate.
Struggling, difficult times for GODSENT now. You rarely see CTs on top of the roller shutters on the T side of mid, by the way. But for those of you who play at home, you can jump there off the box outside the vents. However, it makes a very specific sound when you land on there, and you can be warbanged through the wooden panels if they hear you. So, best time to jump on there is while Molotovs are down and people are spraying through the smoke. If it's all quiet, you do that, you might get wrecked like Kyo and RPK on the B bomb site. Disco Dopplan getting them lights going. Notice some weapons that might be collected by his teammates as well, but they don't have the grenades to smoke off CT, to flash or anything to cross to the site. Now we've got one CT in a tree position. Keep an eye on things.
Yeah, very scary to try to take this side, as you say, with no utility, and you do wonder if they could have tried to, you know, assess that situation a bit better, maybe try to go back to... They had a minute left, so they didn't have to rush into the B-bomb site. The rotation was definitely something that, at that point, it was still quite likely that they wouldn't have... the CTs wouldn't have started to second guess that it would be B, and then would have started to drift away from B. So definitely a lot of options, but GODSENT, for whatever reason, decided to just pull the trigger on just committing on B.
I understand the problem. I feel for them there just because there was probably the situation where it's like, all right, obviously come B, but then no one realizing that didn't have a smoke for the cross, and that by this time comes, they were like, all right, let's maybe double peek CT, and I think they might have just flashed themselves there as well. So I think they were going to try to take the fight crossing as a backup plan. Couldn't even do that, unfortunately.
ENVYUS in a really good position. Some damage done to Freddy B there. Scream not taking too much in return, and happy with the angle here, looking in towards A main, and must be expecting the player on the top of the box. And knows he's there. Hampus gave it away with the sound cues. Easy frag for Happy.
Hampus must have seen him or something. I'm kind of confused as to what happened there. Because he started shooting, but it wasn't a smoke down. But Happy took no damage, so maybe he's just showing some presence and didn't expect that to happen. Either way, there will be some backflips on the B bomb site, and this time GODSENT have some smoke grenades. Scream, is he willing to make a play towards that headshot position? Seems he was considering it, or just looking for a small gap in the smoke. Either way, it's been re-smoked and the bomb should soon go down. There's a Molotov that will delay things though, and Brolan has to be careful about going back onto the site because there is an angle there for the CTs. However, his hops are on point. Now we have a 4-on-4 retake for the CTs.
Yeah, it was looking not so great for GODSENT, but they managed to really turn things around here. Doesn't look like ENVYUS will be able to get in all that easily as they try to probe and prod. Probe and prod. Probing is not going very well.
Huh. Just, I mean, that comes down to one kill, right? RPK. That was a really weird spot for him to be in without checker control or mid control. So then he knew that someone could cross. Pretty much everything's fine if you know they're only going to come from B main, where you can stand on top of spam or stand on top of default or stand on top of oranges with a smoke out or something like that. But when they could be checker too, you're really having to split your aim up. And I mean, I can't imagine he didn't hear them drop, so I feel like he should have been a little bit more weary about playing there, especially alone.
The aggression, two-man push on the door position. I'm not sure if anyone was really able to cover that. Okay, Twist was actually looking for that. He must have seen Scream as well, so they're going to hunt Scream down. Scream could fight his way out of this, but he has to get a couple kills here to make this work. Brilliant flashbang there. Gets Hampus ever so slightly, but not enough to mess up the attempt. And that's a 5v3 now. The door push has been neutralized, and with it, a massive advantage here for the GODSENT side.
1 minute left. One in B, one mid, and one on car of A. Smoke towards CT. Nice way to do it. Will there be Molotovs for the back of the site? Not sure if they just deployed one. If not, they don't have any. Pop flash from RPK. Needs to buy time. So many targets. One play towards headshot. RPK hasn't seen him cross. And down goes RPK. Happy, not far behind. And that might be a consolation frag for Kiyoshima as he is soon dispatched of through the roller shutter. And we go to 12-12. Mighty situation for Envy. Doesn't look great, but there's still time to recover.
Such flash, much wow.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Twist. Money ruined from ENVYUS. I thought they were starting to pull ahead, you know, but then this game just seems to be one of those games where one team gets just a slight burst of momentum, then it just switches almost as quickly as it can again after a couple rounds. That seems to be the story of this game so far.
Ooh, Poppy flash you.
Hello. Hello.
Freddy B's on his journey. He was a young boy going through the fields of cash. And numbers game. Might want to back off now, or maybe not. Hampus from the back.
Fun times. Oh, it's a pretty cool way to win a round such as that. 90 eco, just get somebody looking for that information. I think Launders made the point yesterday pretty effectively that you sort of have to be of the mind that you're going to always be sacrificing someone for information about whether there is or is not a stack somewhere. That's you need to have that information. Someone has to commit to that.
Do Envy want to buy here? They do. It'd be hard to say no to this. I feel like Ops would be the perfect adjustment to play against GODSENT or even Envy in the first half, just because of how many loose plays there were. You know, walks through smokes, try takes out mid. There's a lot of opportunities, I think, for these teams to both get Ops. But with you know, with 14 rounds knocking on the door, it's just like, do we want to save one more round?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really do it, can you? It's hard to say no. Ooh, GODSENT going fast into A maybe. Let's see what they are capable of here. Looking for the boost there over the smoke. You can sometimes get an angle onto the player towards the quad position and MBK, but RPK will take down Brolin. It was Kenny Yesu a long time ago had a setup on for A main where he would smoke himself. He'd set smoke, then he'd jump onto the lockers and boost himself over the smoke. You could pick someone on quad, and that wasn't quite that, but definitely some fanciful things you can do with smokes on A main.
Quad's being cleared out. Angles are being held, and there's the NBK angle taken away as well. Haji, carefully timed boost. And now they come to execute from GODSENT, taking the CTs out. Haji looking to spread, but not quite making it. 3 on 3. The CTs are already close as the bomb goes down. Limited grenades have been taken out on a cat's position. There's one by Fox, such a hard position to deal with on a retake, but RPK is doing his best. 13 HP, they're lining up for him, but he's running out of bullets. That will leave Kiyoshima alone versus 2 low-health players, but headshots are all good in the hoods. 14 to 12 for GODSENT.
Yeah, looking like they are getting really close to doing this now. The economy is not really in a place where it can recover in time, at least not in time to deny a match point. So GODSENT is set up pretty well for the W. Aces advanced. Has just won 1,000 face-it points. Congratulations. Congratulations. Spend them wisely.
I think this is what I would be doing if I was GODSENT. Actually, I would probably save this for the rifle round, just because their B has been given up a lot. Their checker hasn't been played very aggressively. So I think I would be constantly abusing this, honestly. At least in the early rounds, see if they give up a kill.
I like that GODSENT don't play scared. We're seeing a lot of, a lot of players from GODSENT are just taking the initiative, whether that be pushing a smoke on B, trying to, really ask questions and keep the CTs honest, or whether it's, trying to force the action at A main, or there we see, Twist going up mid, trying to just cause problems. Very active team.
It might not be like the perfect analogy, but I would say it's kind of like somebody who can't feel pain. They're willing to take risks and be brash and do it without double thinking or second guessing themselves, but then that can cost them.
Okay, Scream. Well. Through the smoke, not the best place to stand when Scream is in a mid position, but he'll get shot from the front and the back. I think his teammate, no, that's RPK in fact, taking some damage there, unable to escape, taking one for the team. So perhaps not the end of Envy on Cash just yet, 4 versus 3, but there's plenty of time for GODSENT to try and right the ship. Envy being active on their CT side. And now it's Freddy's turn to emerge from the smoke. Very cheeky stuff instead, maybe gambling on one person being there and focusing on the boost position, but he was mistaken, as his teammates were as well.
Yeah, Scream may have just ended everything here for them. Just Twist and Disco left, the 2 better performers for GODSENT on Cash so far. Especially Disco. Disco Dopplan. So now it's about getting some damage, being cheeky, having some fun, having a whale of a time. I wonder where that saying came from.
The UK, probably. We've got a full set of nades on both of them. It somehow feels like the round's not quite over. I mean, one trade really makes a difference here. But Envy are doing a great job of not giving that up too easily.
Scream still lurking in that mid position. A late crouch will avoid death from Dopplan. And now Twist has 14 seconds to try and plant the bomb. And perhaps he'll get himself a 1 versus 1, but he pulls his knife out just as he spots Kirishima. And that will be an abrupt end to round 28.
That is really weird, but it's what they needed to stay in the game. Scream with a double through the smoke. And GODSENT, they've been pretty consistent on the way that they've been opening up rounds, and I think they have, as you said, been very confident. And we'll get another play into CT, rather sorry, into A main by the CTs, and that was something GODSENT were doing themselves quite well as well. The question is how they're going to use that play. They'll leave someone in by the lockers. That's Haji. Kirishima might be tested here. Like the pressure coming in from GODSENT towards B, but Kirishima gets the better of it so far. Able to take down Hampus, as Hampus' teammate will fall back. And this good plan testing the waters of A as well at the same time.
That was interesting. They re-mollied B main, but they could have molly trapped him if they threw both of them into checkers.
Envy really aggressive. They Molotov'd main at the beginning of the round, A main, and smoked into it. They've had A main possession pretty much this entire round, so that very much limits what GODSENT can do. That said, there are still 3 people towards A for the CT side, including one on the car position. So with that control, they may want to consider what is likely here, especially with the time on the clock. Z being held now as there are no eyes on the middle position. And now the Molotovs are out on the site. RPK forced forward, as is his teammate in the back from checkers. Kirishima will be traded now. 3-on-3 as the T's try to make their way to the bomb site. And Happy will be forced forward. He'll find a way out.
Safe plant from Brolin. You can see it from PP storage opening.
Oh.
Nade there lands on its target. Brolin low.
That is a nice. I like this angle. I want to see if this works. A headshot on the cross.
Well, he's got more to worry about than that as they start to push from the CT side of things, and just like that, a flurry of shots and a flurry of frags. The match won 16-13. GODSENT getting themselves on board with a victory against the French. And it was a really close game, very hard to predict. I think you can actually say, you know, it's not going to ever be necessarily your example of Cash at the highest potential level, but it was a pretty good Cash game between both teams.
Could have gone either way, but ultimately it's one in the bag for GODSENT. Still early days with Envy, but good to see GODSENT getting a W in a day where they've got 4 games. That is 1 for 2 at the moment, and they will definitely want to do better than that, moving into Train, which is going to be the next map between these 2 teams.
Long day of CS for GODSENT, but it's nice for them. I think that they got the W. Straws for some of the harder matches, but I'm sure it was still a hard loss. And here, even towards the end, it was very hard to tell, especially after this round, you know, who's going to win this game. So
those are the statistics. Kirishima up there doing the big damage for Envy, but not enough on this occasion. Doplan leading the charge with 2550 damage. Been good for the team recently and helps them take it over the line here on Cash. And once again, Train will be the next map between these 2 teams. That will be coming up shortly. That will be the last map of Europe. After that, we will have some North American matches for you, but for now we'll stay on the European continent. So join us in a few minutes for Envy versus GODSENT on Train.
So James, just got an email from Face It headquarters, and apparently there's loads of new merchandise from ECS, and they want us to make a promotional video.
Not about that life, Dan. I made this ton of stuff. You know, it's not all about getting paid. I think that's really sad. Hey, kid.
Me?
Yes, you. How would you like to win some Faceit points?
Faceit points? What are those?
Faceit points are points you can collect playing on Faceit or watching ECS. You can redeem those points to get items such as new skins, hardware,